Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Chainlink. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. If you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to watch that before watching this one. It's going to be linked in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Now let's jump straight into the TA. So taking a look at the daily chart, we still have the same Fibonacci retracement with the extension levels to the downside. If you don't know how to use the Fib retracement, there's going to be a link down below in the description to a video where I explain how you can use the Fib retracement to set targets and find out where the next support and resistance levels are. So for this Fib, we have the swing high in May 2021 and the swing low in December of 2020. So we didn't even go down as low as the 1.272, which was your minimal target at $4.82. However, we did print the low at $5.47 all the way back in May of 2022. Since then, we've been in this flat here, and right now it seems like we're trying to do something. But if we don't break above the November high, this could simply be another lower high and then a move to the downside. So I'm not expecting a lot out of this move, and I'm not really expecting this to take us into the bull market because the Fed is already flipping bearish and they're saying that potentially we might have another 50 to 75 basis point hikes in March or May, as the battle against inflation continues, and it doesn't seem like the Fed is winning. So don't get discouraged by this, obviously, but don't turn into a super bull in seconds and just expect everything to moon, right? We could still be seeing corrections and pullbacks, so be ready for that, and always think about the potential black swan events we could have before strong moves to the upside, as we did back in March of 2020. So we're breaking back into this channel up pattern. So potentially what we could do is we could see this move all the way up here and we could top out at $9.79, potentially coming back down and printing the low, touching the support of the channel up pattern, and then taking another leg up and potentially going all the way up to the 786 Fibonacci retracement level. So that would be the bullish outcome here. Potentially, you could be targeting $7.02, which is a major support level that we have, or you could target the 20 EMA and the 55 EMA. What we could also do right now is we can slap another Fib retracement on the chart, but this one with the targets to the upside. So I think we have our targets there. Let me just do this and this. There we go. So our 1.618 target is at $230. Our 1.414 target is at $143. So these are going to be your major targets in the next bull market. The minimal target is going to be at 1.272. So I would be more conservative and I would be targeting $150 because you really don't want to be waiting until your specific target is met in the bull market, because what could happen is that you might be moving up, and you don't even get to the 1.618. You just before you get there, you start correcting, and then you see that strong sell-off. And you're thinking, well, I'm just going to buy more here, and we're probably going to get there the next time. And then you print a dead cat bounce, and you continue down. So you don't want to be caught in this scenario here. And this is typically how the bull markets end. That's what we saw the last time in November of 2021. So just potentially have a lot of sell limit orders throughout this area, and if you have some tokens left and you see a pullback, you might even take profits here because eventually it's going to be coming back down lower, just like we saw over here. And this is what I'm talking about. We topped out in May. You had to move to the upside. Well, this is specifically for Chainlink. For Chainlink, we printed a dead cat bounce here, and we went down, as you can see. What we could do is we could throw a Fib retracement here, and as you can see, we pretty much went to, we got rejected from the golden ratio here, and then we got pulled back down. So essentially that was a dead cat bounce and we got sent back down here. So if you were taking profits throughout this area here, then you saw the pullback, you might have even taken some profits down here on the way down. Even if you bought some here, you could have sold, right? But if you had some tokens left after this move here, you're still able to take some profits because your dollar cost average area is all the way down here. So it doesn't matter really where you're selling as long as it's not at a loss, right? Because that's what's important here is that we're making money and we're not losing the money that we're investing, because that's your first rule. You have to preserve the capital that you invested in order to make money. So right now we can see Chainlink breaking into the channel up pattern, and hopefully we can meet our 0.236 resistance level, which is at $9.23. As you can see, on 3 occasions here, we got rejected. Actually, 4 occasions if you count that all the way back in May. Every single time you were sitting here, you had to move to the downside. Every single time you touched that level, you got rejected back down. So potentially we're going to be looking at a similar thing here where we come back up there and then we potentially see a 15 to 30 to 25% pullback down to $7. Maybe that's a possibility. So potentially you could swing trade here around $9.30. But if we start breaking higher, I would be looking for support on the 0.236, but this is in a bullish case, obviously. So if you're holding long term, I would suggest that you don't risk with any swing trades, because if you risk it and you take profits, let's say at $9, and afterwards Chainlink has some massive news coming out and we see something like this going all the way up to $17, and you're all the way down here with your cash, and you've missed out on all of this potential growth. So I would say after such a long consolidation period, just wait until we see the major breakout, and then you can adjust and see what kind of trades you can enter. So that's potentially what we could be looking at. If we bring back the large fib retracement here, there we go. And let's take a look at the daily RSI, see what's going on here. So we're running into the 66.8 resistance once again. As you can see, every single time we ran into that level, we saw a pullback. I would be looking for entries off of the white trend line. As you can see, we had a nice entry here, February 10th to February 13th, 14th. Since then, we saw a move to the upside. So Chainlink is doing okay right now. If you see a pullback on the RSI, like I said, you can target either the white trend line, then you have the pink trend line at 38.12, and then you have the yellow trend line at around 31.8 on the RSI. So those are going to be your entries on the daily chart. Of course, if you're down here in the oversold, then that's obviously another great entry point. Now, I do want to switch over to the Binance weekly chart. And before we continue, guys, I quickly want to talk about my Patreon. Now, if you want to get involved, there's going to be a 7-day free trial. So you can go ahead and join, and you're going to get access to all of my content since I started posting on Patreon, which was all the way back in October of 2021. So there are hundreds and hundreds of posts with low cap gems, my exclusive podcasts that I do for patrons only, my low cap gem reviews, project highlights, your technical analysis requests, exclusive videos for patrons. So there's a whole bunch of stuff there that I don't share on YouTube or Twitter as to add more value to it. And I also share all of my buys, all of my sells. I share my portfolio in there. So if that's something that you're interested in and you really want to support the channel, then feel free to check it out. Thank you. Taking a look at the weekly chart, as you can see, we're breaking out of this falling wedge, you could say. And well, this is technically a falling wedge because we're at a 45-degree angle and the trend lines are diagonal towards the apex of the pattern. So this is a falling wedge, and we're breaking out of this support block. We entered it once again here at the end of the year back in December of 2022. And like I said, with this support block, every single time you enter it, you see a move to the upside. So it would be very naive to think that, oh, it's going to go lower. So I was telling you guys, these are good buying prices here. My average buying price for Chainlink is around $6.60 or 70 cents, something like that. So I'm in profit already, but I'm not taking any profits yet, and I'm not swing trading my Chainlink yet because I do want to potentially hit the 55 EMA before I think about taking profits, because we're still not very overextended on the weekly here. So the weekly RSI is looking fine for now. Sold. So what I've done with the stochastic is that I've applied the So 54 and 28 is what I have here for the stochastic, just so that we don't have many false signals, but this is better used on the daily chart. So let's see what's going on here on the daily chart, and let's compare that with the price action and see how well it calls the tops. So for example, I know the highs off top of my head, so we don't really need to look at the price action. So September 2021, we saw that nice peak there. In November 2021, we saw the nice peak there, and the stochastic was towards the upper area here. Then we saw another peak in January, but that wasn't as high. We saw another peak in April. As you can see, once you move closer to the middle or above the middle, that's when things are getting overheated. The last time in August, we had this move to the upside, and look at this move right now in February. We're getting very close to the overbought, which is above the index of 80, above the stochastic of 80. So once we get there, that is going to be in your overbought territory, and you could be looking at a move all the way up there. I've got the highlighter, sorry. You could be looking at something like that. And that's where you want to be taking profits, because as you can see, every time you entered into that zone, you got sent back down immediately almost. So yeah, just be careful with that. Like I said, if you don't know how to swing trade, you're better off not doing it at all, because that way you can just keep your assets with you in case anything happens. In case you see a strong breakout all of a sudden, you still have your tokens with you, so you don't have to worry about anything. And the volume indicator that we're getting here on the weekly, let's see what's going on. So we're getting pretty good volume on the weekly chart. Especially last week was pretty good for Chainlink. A lot of institutions buying into this token, obviously. So things are looking good for Chainlink. People are not happy with this flat here. Personally, I'm very happy. If we drop back down below $6, I might even buy more tokens, to be honest with you. Like, I'm that bullish on Chainlink, but I do have another Oracle protocol that I'm going to be buying into. So that's going to be shared on Patreon. And that's pretty much everything that I wanted to talk about regarding Chainlink. If I missed out anything important on the charts, please let me know down below in the comment section. Thank you all for watching, and have a great day. Goodbye.